This is the first in what might become a regular or even daily little ritual. Uh, it is smoking one of these, which is Salvia divinorum. I have several times gone a month or two of smoking every single day, and I always really like it. It's a great way of inserting some depth, basically, into your life without having to meditate for like 2 hours because not everybody has the time to do that. But, tend to do this isn't that difficult. Although it is an adventure. We'll see later on. Later on, it might get a little bit more sophisticated. We'll see. But since this is the core of the ritual, we'll just get to it right now. That was a pretty small bowl, even by my standards, because it's in the morning. Although I like smoking salvia in the morning, it's sort of spiritually refreshing. It's actually kind of a challenging setting because on salvia, I often find myself challenged by background noise. And this summer, my neighbor has a really loud AC unit, and it's certainly going to be pumping today because it might get up to 105 today. But if you're annoyed by something, all you can really do, you can't stop it, right? Unless you can, but you notice the annoying sound or the annoying thing in your life, and you accept it for what it is, and you accept your annoyance for what it is. Which is a little bit contradictory, but it's like you're attacking the issue from both sides. On one hand, I'm going to accept, this annoying thing for being in my life, and life is good anyway. And at the same time, I allow myself to be annoyed or be challenged by challenging things. And I'm not going to label myself as unenlightened or less than perfect or something because I have negative emotions. Negative emotions are just part of life and part of the Homo sapien species has emotions, and some of them are negative, and that's how it is. It's part of a healthy organism. You notice the emotions and thoughts going through your mind when you dive into your mind carefully. How much is going on all of the time, and most of the time it's on a fairly subconscious level, making these little evaluations. Oh, I can hear that car. Oh, I can hear that AC unit. Oh, it's a bird chirping. I like that. right? And you're doing this all the time. I make a video and I'm like, oh, does this video suck? Oh, maybe it's good. The point of building up sensitivity is being able to tap in and notice this drama going on in your life all of the time. A lot of people think they're not very emotional. Bullshit. That's what I think. I think pretty much everybody is emotional because the mind itself makes evaluations constantly. That's one of the basic functions of the mind, is to evaluate the things happening around you, and the way that you understand those evaluations is through these minute little emotional experiences happening to you constantly. You go to the bathroom, it's locked, someone else is in there, you get a little bit annoyed. That's the majority of your emotional life. The majority of your emotional life isn't this big opera. You go to the bathroom, it's not locked, you get to go in. Joy! Right? But it's not a big opera of joyfulness. It's just a little momentary moment of joyfulness. And again, these little minute defeats and triumphs are a big part of your daily life. And you bring your awareness to these little minute emotional modulations, and you can engage your life in a more meaningful way. It's like there's more content there. It's like turning up the resolution of life. And a lot of growing up is getting better and better at surfing the emotional wave. You see kids, I've got an 8-year-old daughter. She is not a very good surfer. Let me tell you, she's like, look, she's good at a lot of things, but surfing the emotional wave of her life is not her strength. It takes nothing. The other day, I picked her up from camp, and she was doing great. And then uh, I was walking away from her, and she saw her friend, and her friend had a cookie. Wait, didn't have a cookie. She had told her friend had told my daughter about a cookie recipe that her mom had, and then she burst into tears because she wanted to get the cookie recipe. And then my daughter refused to move an inch. We're in a parking lot, and she's just, I'm staying right here until I get that cookie recipe. And then I had to trade contact information with her friend's mom in order to get to the cookie recipe for the recipe of a cookie that she had never actually tried. She just heard that it was good. Of course, um, it's a silly story, but you're probably thinking, well, this is tying into her having to say goodbye to her friend, which is a bigger deal, which is probably true. But the point is that her emotional life is up and down. She cries every day. Or you look at toddlers and they cry 20 times a day. Um, and most adults don't. Because you just get used to dealing with these little defeats, these little disappointments in life. Learning how to do that is important, but you don't want to desensitize yourself too much, because that's what life is. If you're always shielding yourself off from your emotional life, shielding yourself even from your perceptual life, and just getting stuck in your mind or in your little fantasy world, well, then you're not exactly engaging in the world in a very meaningful way. So it takes a balance of learning how to handle disappointments in your life, but at the same time, actively engaging your perceptual world. I'm actively engaging, being annoyed by my neighbor's AC unit. And if I keep on shooting video out here, it'll probably come up again. Okay, well, short and sweet, but it's number one. We'll see where we go from here.